Normally, you would have thought that you'd have to try and really emphasize just how important it is to study a particular subject. But I think folks are starting to understand now that zakat, just generally with the Islamic awakening of the Muslim communities, they just realize how important it is. They don't need a reminder about Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anh, that he declared war on Muslims, which eventually led to them being declared apostates because they refused to give zakat. That it is one of the key obligations, the key pillars of this religion. It is mentioned so many times in the Quran, most of it connected to the Salah, that it is from the most fundamental tools that we have that look after the, I don't just want to say poor, but the needy. The needy is, I think, a more important phrase for us right now, because then the needy can be extended to those folks that aren't necessarily destitute or in poverty, but have a right to that money. And so with that now, I think, being realized, it's important for us as practicing Muslims ourselves to ensure that we're fulfilling that duty properly, that we are paying zakat properly, regularly, on the right things. And also, not overpaying as well. Although I doubt that many folks are falling into that, but I will have a few examples in the class that we're bringing. And this class, inshallah, is going to be taught over a couple of time zones. Do I think it's essential? I guess every time I teach a subject, I call it essential. But this surely has to be an added emphasis for the most obligatory things that we have in our deen. And zakat is not just the effectively the ritual worship that we offer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our wealth, or salah being that which we offer from our bodies, from ourselves. So it very much is a fundamental thing that we've got to get right and offer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the big caveat here is that it's the right of the people. So you're not just being held accountable by Allah, but you're also being held accountable by the people. And so we have to get this right. We have to be out there looking for the people who deserve that money, whose actual money it is. It's their haqq. And so we are holding on to our wealth, whether it's in saving accounts, whether it's in 401ks or pension funds or retirement funds, to understand how that works, all the other investments that we have, whether that's rental houses, whether that's our personal possessions. What's the dividing line between the things that we own and the things that we make money from? What about the different businesses that we have? Some of us are in service-based industries where we work as professionals. Others have shops and virtual shops and marketplaces and eBay stores and so on. What is the nature of wealth? And wealth, of course, in our current time is now moving from hard cash to electric money to that which is now cryptocurrency is almost seen as old hat now. There was a debate about whether Bitcoin was an asset or a digital currency, but now we have to embrace all of the other forms of wealth and the thresholds even that are used. So it could be argued that zakat is kind of complicated, but if you don't study it, if you don't appreciate it at its fundamental basic level, it will then become so. I don't think that's a valid excuse anymore. I think we have to be very, very aware of not only paying it the right way at the right time, getting rid of the misconceptions, but also ensuring that when we execute that, especially living in the West, especially living in non-Muslim countries where we don't have an Islamic authority to collect it, and therefore we're depending upon mostly Islamic charities, you need to be aware that many of them also make mistakes, and we have to be there to either support them or to avoid then giving to sources which will ruin our zakat. And we need to revive also the physical actually giving of zakat ourselves directly to the people who are deserving, and having confidence in that, to helping our local communities. There's so much actually to discuss, and it needs a proper study. It can't be like a 10-minute TikTok video, or I don't even know TikTok lasts for 10 minutes, but you get my point. It needs to be studied properly. So I hope to see you in these classes that we're creating, especially for the virtual online kind of platform. It'll be live, interactive. You'll be able to speak, see you, etc. Those who have already studied a class like this, you know exactly what you're getting. Go to AlMaghrib.org to see the dates that will be coming up very, very soon. Just in time for Ramadan, because of course most people like to pay their zakat in Ramadan, which is fine, but we'll discuss that as well. But also, if you want to understand just how the experience will be online, then just have a look at the reviews on the AlMaghrib Facebook page, the Central AlMaghrib World Facebook page, and speak to those that have already taken a class. You're missing out if you think that it's going back. Actually, this is going forward. As I said to many folks, I don't know how we're going to get back to real life teaching. because this is so convenient for everybody involved. In any case, I'm inviting you all, especially the upcoming time zones, whether it's the West Coast Canada, Europe, UK, and the rest of the world as well, to our deep dive into Zakat in a light manner, without having to completely fry everybody's brains, but being relevant enough to apply to you immediately for this key obligation. Jazakumullah khair.